one is called Obsession with the Body. And the questioner asks, Maharaj, you are sitting in front of me and I am here at your feet. What is the basic difference between us? And there's an exchange that goes on, but in the end, this is the part that really hit me, that Maharaj says. And I'm diving into a little bit in the middle of it. But he says, by knowing what you are not, you come to know yourself. The way back to yourself is through refusal and rejection. One thing is certain: the real is not imaginary. It is not a product of the mind. Even the sense I am is not continuous, though it is a useful pointer. It shows where to seek, but what not to seek. Just have a good look at it. Once you are convinced that you cannot say truthfully about yourself anything except I am, and that nothing can be pointed at can be yourself, the need for the I am is over. You are no longer intent on verbalizing what you are. All you need is to get rid of the tendency to define yourself. All definitions apply to your body only and to its expressions. Once this obsession with the body goes, you will revert to your natural state spontaneously and effortlessly. The only difference between us is that I am aware of my natural state while you are bemused. Just like gold made into ornaments has no advantage over gold dust, except when the mind makes it so. So are we one in being. We only differ in appearance. We discover it by being earnest, by searching, inquiring, questioning daily and hourly, by giving one's life to this discovery. I mean, that just hit me so hard. It was like, oh my God, this is like my life right now.
Dude.
Like, I just, why do we have to define ourselves? Like, I don't want to define myself. Stop telling me that I have to.
He's like, don't worry, what you are can't be defined.
Yeah.
so that's why you feel that way. That's where this rage against having to label yourself and put yourself in a box is. I felt that my whole life, man. Like, don't tell me that now this is this because this is this. Like, that's not me. Like, it's just this knowing underneath. It's like and everyone has that knowing to some degree, whether you're aware of it fully and it's driving you nuts, or whether you're not that aware of it. And some of us are very satisfied with where we are in our lives and are very proud of ourselves, so we're okay with being labeled and defined. And the spiritual teachers consider that to be kind of a setback on the spiritual path. If you're extremely proud of your individual personal accomplishments, it's an attachment. It's hard to see yourself as beyond that, because you want to be that.
You're living in that separate self, in that ego, and you're defining yourself by that. But once you but you're still wondering, why am I actually ultimately not happy, and what is there more to life? Like,
desire for any object, be it food, sex, any craving that you might have, is the desire to merge with an object. It's the desire for unity, and it's just a filtered, veiled, distorted version of the desire to merge with the infinite, desire to merge with the true self. And every one of your desires is just a confused, fractured hologram of that desire. And when you realize that, when you get to this point where we're at now, where so many people are at, where you realize, like, okay, I might be able to have and use these objects, but ultimately they're not going to make me happy. What is this ultimate joining, this ultimate merging I'm looking for? The realization is that it can be none other than finding your true self.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to do those things as well, and wanting to feel these things and be connected with the mind body and understand that and connect to the world and to nature. But you have to also be able to come away from that and know that isn't everything, and that, like, you are not just constantly seeking awareness or consciousness. And I think it's important that we go over what that really means, and kind of on like a pretty, like, most basic level of our understanding of, which is pretty basic, but of what these things are. So, awareness.
Is your mic on?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Is it good? Yeah. All right. So awareness is the same as consciousness, same as knowing, same as ultimate understanding. That is the true self. It is our true nature. Like, just kind of basic. What is this that we're talking about when we say these things?
Yeah.
In your view.
Well, I think that, in my view, I think you should say it in your view, and then I'll give kind of a counter thing to add to it, because mine is, I'm a little, oh no, I'm a little more out there with it right now. And so start from Earth.
Okay, so it like I said, it is our true nature. It's like it's how we're able to interact and connect with the world. Like we are. So the idea of this is that we are born into awareness with the body mind, and we are not like, we're not born into the body mind and then awareness comes. Awareness is always there, and the body mind enters into awareness. So awareness is the thing that connects us through everything. Like it's almost like these energy fields and these things. And like if you know anything about grounding, which your mom sent me something yesterday about, but it's like connecting with nature and earth, and there's energy there that comes through it. So this is all awareness and consciousness. So when we let go and we release our focus and the kind of connection of the mind body taking over, and not worrying about our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations, our perceptions, our past, our future, not worrying about any of those things, and you just are, that is awareness. And it's not labeling anything, it's not being anything, it's how we connect with everything. Mm-hmm. And that's why we want to be around other people, and that's why we like feel a different way when we're outside than when we're cooped up inside in a man-made world. And it's when we feel our best. It is happiness and peace.
Increased awareness will give you that peace, will give you that better life, will give you that increased feeling of energized aliveness in your life. Even if you're not considering any sort of spiritual path and you just want to improve your life as you know it, increased awareness is the solution for that. Awareness itself is just a word. Awareness is just a word, and the reason it's a good word to use for the sake of teaching is because awareness has less baggage as a word than words like God or words like higher self, like Eastern terms. Awareness is kind of a non-loaded term. But what is it actually? Because...
Well, real quick, so and God and higher self, like those things became loaded terms because
of people's misunderstanding of them filtered through their own concept.
And the body mind. I mean, they didn't start that way. Just like awareness is just a word. It's just a word. God. So is all these things are just words. They're just trying to put labels on things.
Exactly. Everything gets muddy in labels and conceptualizing.
Just so we can all kind of say we're talking about the same thing or whatever.
And awareness is a great word for it too, because when you say awareness, everyone can think, okay, I'm aware. Like I have a connection to that. Yeah. Like you're calling it awareness. It's easier for me to latch onto that than if you were calling it God or you're because awareness. Well, I'm aware right now, so that has something to do with me. That awareness is a function of the matrix of reality itself, which is why what Sean said in the beginning was something similar to what Rupert Spira said. Objects do not have awareness. Awareness has objects. It's not like a person is born and that's just a lump of dead stuff called matter, and then somehow by some spark of magic it gets up and is able to experience the world around it. No. It starts with the quantum field of pure, blissful, peaceful awareness, which you are, and then that substance of awareness modulates to create the world around you. And everything in your experience is made of awareness. Everything in your experience is made of awareness, and that awareness essentially is what you are, and by nature it is peaceful.
With how it feels, and I think one of the other things I wanted to get to, which kind of lines up with this, is people will say, well, don't sadness and pain and frustration and anger and doubt and shame and guilt and all of these negative things serve a purpose? And it's like, well, I mean, they serve a purpose to the body-mind. They serve an overall purpose. They're there for a reason, so they probably do. But, like, it doesn't mean we have to live in them. Mm-hmm. And the problem isn't that they come. The problem is that people live in them, and they stay in that, and they want that, and they define themselves by that. And when you define yourself by that, that's when depression comes, and anxiety controls your life, and all these illnesses and ailments come, and pain is there, and you live in this world of just angst and disgust and real negativity, and you don't know how to pull yourself out of it.
And we've all been in that as a mood. Yeah. Some people for way longer than others.
You can call it a mood, and you can, and essentially it's just a long mood for some people, and you can come out of that if you choose to, and you choose to see this. But it's like, well, why is awareness or consciousness or this ultimate true nature, why is it just peace and happiness? It's like, because when everything else is gone, that's all that's left.